But if you just kind of sit there and you're like, oh, I care about this thing and I'm gonna read a lot about it, or I'm just gonna post about it, it's okay. But taking that action step is huge. I was doing entrepreneurship work in Africa, and African Leadership Academy just brought all these things together. Let's bring all of the continent's best young people to this place. We'll train them in leadership and entrepreneurship and how to work across the continent, and hope that these young people become the future presidents and CEOs and ministries, heads of ministries, etc. Now I'm the Chief Learning Officer. So basically that means anything that we teach, anything that we produce or create, I'm primarily responsible for that. Right now I travel between a few different countries quite a bit, just to make sure that whatever we're launching and running in these different countries is high quality, and it really is helping people learn and grow as leaders and ultimately become the change makers that we want to see in Africa and beyond. For me, student council was that path through which I could really invest in the school and grow as a person. Yes, it was the events and it was the things that got the student body invested in the school, which is an important element, I think, of Stuco. But for us, it was really those bonds that we had internally, and these are people I share lifelong friendships with. They were in my wedding, and they're people that I still get together with on a regular basis. I think at the time I didn't really understand leadership really. I liked leadership stuff. I liked the camps, the conferences, being a student council, but I didn't really understand that leadership was something that you could understand, study, really invest in and grow in particular ways. I would say the biggest influence on me in college, though, was a leadership program that I was in at University of Colorado called the President's Leadership Class. And it was in this program that I actually, for the first time, got to teach it. You actually got to teach leadership and create experiences and actually create curriculum that people would go through. And it was going through that gave me the courage to actually go start my own leadership camp after college and to run that for a few years. Look, if you look around, there's a lot going on. And especially if you take that sort of the negativity out there, we can see problems everywhere, right? And what I think we need in the world is more leaders who say, I see this problem and I'm gonna make it mine to solve and to get rid of. And when that one is solved, I want to go on to the next thing. If that's something that resonates with people, I think there are a couple things that help. One, tie it to your passion. What are you actually passionate about? If it's just about this negative thing, it's going to be really hard to keep going. But if it's tied to your passion, I think you'll always keep going. The second one, I think, is if it's tied to people that you care about. And if you're doing it in community, it can't just be yes, you can lead yourself and you can be that first leader to step out, but eventually you need more people with you. You can't just be a lone hero. The third thing is the skills, right? You asked about that. What are the skills that you need? And so if you know that you need fundraising skills, or you know that you need networking skills, whatever it is, that you go about curating those. But you also have skills. You know that you're good at basketball, or you know that you're good at settling arguments between your siblings. Okay, great. Those are skills. Bring those to the problem at hand. The best advice I can give is just go start somewhere. You're young, you can go tinker around, you can play, you can trip, you can fall, you get back up, stumble around, and it's okay because you're young, and usually you've got a little bit of a buffer. Even if it's because you're young and people are like, it's okay, they're young. And so I think by going and trying something, then what you then see for yourself is what you don't know. And once you know what you don't know, then you can have a much more directed approach to learning what you don't know. If you don't know the gaps that you have, you won't be as targeted when you go to school, and you won't necessarily know what internships to get or what fellowships to pursue to actually continue to build those skills. And if you don't know what you love, or you don't know how to get there, a gap year is not a bad idea, or a year working is not a bad idea, provided that you keep that passion at the center of what you're doing. Start locally. Who in your area who cares about the same things, right? So if you care about animal rights, go to the local humane society. There's surely one within 30 miles of you. Volunteer there and see what's going on, right? And just by getting that little bit of insight there, by actually doing something, then I think you can begin to know what to do with your life. But if you just kind of sit there and you're like, oh, I care about this thing and I'm gonna read a lot about it, or I'm just gonna post about it, it's okay. But taking that action step is huge.